So it's bank holiday weekend, gonna paint, it's cold. Fabulous. So I'm gonna have to wait until the weather picks up, but in the meantime I'm gonna go through the JOTUN paint system. There's nothing on the internet that I've found actually that explains it clearly about JOTUN, and yet actually it's a really popular paint to use. Everybody seems to be using it on the boats, and rightly so, because it's one of the best out there. However, I've got just a small compressor, and probably like most hobbyists, DIYers, projecteers, as in the projecteers, so people do projects. You may have a small compressor too. You may be thinking, can you air spray it? Everything in the literature talks about pump spraying or airless spraying. Nothing really talks about can you use your compressor on it. So I'm going to do a few tests to see whether or not that's going to be feasible or possible. I've spoken to JOTUN. They say yes, it can be. But hey, you know, I mean, let's wait and see if it works, because I don't know. First thing I'm going to do though is looking at the paint. So I'm going to be using Penguard HB White. With that comes the 4:1 mix, 4:1 ratio, Comp B, Comp A. So you've got to mix these two independently and then mix appropriate 1:4. Sorry, 4:1. Use thinner number 17. Again, I thought, could I use any other thinners, because I've got numerous types, acetone. What else have I got? I got isopropyl alcohol. Think, oh, can I use that? You know, answer's no. So basically you got to stick with the required thinners that you got to use. I'm going to use 10% thinner. Again, asked JOTUN about it. They said you can use up to 20. Depends if you're spraying, but I haven't got a clue whether or not it's going to be thick, thin, or sprayable for to spray it with an air gun. So they're my thinners and paint. This is my compressor. It goes up to on the mark 100 bar. Goes to 100 bar on the mark. But on the
airless spraying, it's a different
spraying,
system.
it does say
using a compressor.
something about pressure at nozzle 150 bar. So if you can see that, probably not, but 150 bar airless spray equipment. So
remember, airless spraying is a different system to that of using a compressor.
what I have done though, I've got my spray system, just a normal thing that you get with these compressors. Never used it before. I want to see if it works. I've tried it with a few thinners. Whether or not it's going to be ample or adequate enough, I don't know yet. So I'm doing this video, as you can imagine, before I try all this, which is probably the best way of doing it, because that way we'll get the output. So we'll attach this, paint, and see what it works. See if it works. The minimum required temperature for painting is 18 degrees. At the moment I've got 10. There is a component you can put with this, an additive for low temperature working. I haven't got that. I didn't want to buy yet another thing, because I bought so much, so that was going to have to wait. I thought, well, we're getting summer now, and last weekend was really nice. This weekend, now I've got 4 days off, isn't. So it's restricting play, so to speak. And looking at the JOTUN literature, basically 18 degrees, 4:1 mix, 20% thinners, and we'll see if that works. But in the meantime, I'll get on my transient. Sorted.
So I put 2 holes in the transom, then I filled them with epoxy resin and putty. I'm now drilling a smaller diameter hole to make sure that the drill goes dead centre of it, and therefore I've got a waterproof seal. I'm going to run some resin through these later on because I wasn't 100% sure I got the drill exactly central on one of them, but it worked out pretty well. Here I'm just grinding the edges of some old chopping board squares that I cut out. I'm going to fiberglass these onto the side of the boat. This will allow me to screw into the side of the hull without obviously going through. I'll just fiberglass these on the plastic. It doesn't matter how good they are, how well the fiberglass onto the side, as long as they stay there.
So these are anchor points that I can screw into without going into the hull, which is just nice and simple, no drama type of fiberglass. Doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, it doesn't even have to. It doesn't matter if it's got any gaps in it. They're purely anchor points. So I put a bit of chopping board, very hard plastic chopping board that I used for the mounting brackets, and this is just to hold a rail that I've got to put on rather than drilling it to the side. Okay, so these have been basking in the sun for a bit just to warm them up, although probably not long enough. But Penguard HB white, and you've got, just double check the comp B for the hardener. Quick way of getting the dust out. And the first thing I want to do with this is mix it up, because it's been sat for a long time. Okay, that's good. Okay, one. Four to 1 ratio. I'm going to start small and see if I can actually spray it first. I don't want to waste it. So that's on 0 grams. So I'm going to do 100 to start off with. So if I do 100, which might be 2. Oh, fuck it, let's do 400. Easy. Let's use the language. 4, 5, 6. Whoa, look at that. Run that. Okay, I'm going to water this down a little, so say 10%, so 40, let's see what that does. Just a tad over. I'm going to put 100 of this in it. Actually, let's just mix that first. This might be too thin, to be honest, but we'll see. That was 10%. Okay, let's put 100 of hardening. Can't be using your fingers. 1:30, so leave that for 30 minutes. Meanwhile, I'll rub everything down. Actually, no, I won't do that. Okay, induction time 30 minutes. That was like waiting for the bloody Christmas presents, but okay, I've stirred it, I've strained it. Now let's just go for it. I've really got to put a bloody mask on one hand now. Okay. If this works. They'll have to do that. this after I've finished. It's gone really well, apart from there's some really schoolboy errors. First thing I'll show you, spray gun. What I didn't know about spray guns was you've got a dial here. I'm not teaching you grinding, it's okay, because if you know about this then please forgive me, but I didn't. And I had it screwed all the way in. So that gave me a nice round spray. And I was thinking I wanted a flat spray. I didn't want it to get more of a sort of a vertical spray. Didn't happen. The reason being is because I had that screwed all the way in. Didn't think about bringing it out to put air from the two sides. That opens up the air valves from the two side socket, two side jets. First thing. Second thing is actually there was quite a lot of water in my compressor, brand new compressor, so you do need a water catcher. These are pretty cheap actually. I had to put this on upside down because I couldn't get the attachments, but needless to say there was a lot of water that came out of this, which was good. But there's me goes and cleans everything down, and I forget to do the hatch. But anyway, let's have a look. So as promised, there are some serious imperfections. I blocked up the hole and poured resin down it just to give it a double seal, so that's just a cap. But what I didn't know was a bit of resin had run all the way down there, and as you can see for the first coat, got that nice and flat, so quite impressed with that. But there are so many imperfections. Got holes there that I didn't even know about. It's amazing when you spray it white, and guess what? I got a bloody crack that side. I checked that, couldn't see a crack to save my life. But spray it white, crack. Yay. That's the side that I repaired. Going along, you can see there are so many, especially around here, and that's just crap. Absolute crap. So I'm to sand that right back. Give it a bit of fairing stuff there. You know, all in here, this is rubbish. Don't know why. Probably because it's on the side that I couldn't get to. But bear in mind, this is only an undercoat, Penguard HB, so you can use it as a top coat, but I'm going to now use it as an undercoat. Got an hole there. Didn't even know about that. Obviously what I've screwed in, but forgot to fill it. All up there. Again, sanding, fairing. Hatch. Fuck's sake. Can't believe that. Because I bloody had loads left as well. I used it on the door. Yeah. Bit of work to do around the edge. I don't need it too perfect to be honest, but even so, there are some horrible imperfections. Nothing that bit of fairing won't put right, but some drips of resin. That'll teach me to be more cleaner when I'm doing fiberglassing. Got an hole there. Must have sanded it down too much. But yeah, got a lot of sanding to do. Yeah, good little undercoat. I'm going to go around there with a brush on the edge of that. I'll use a brush on the edge of around there. So, first coat. Good little base coat. Show me what I need to do. I need to do lots and lots of filling and rubbing down. But we have a white boat. Actually, I might do that hatch different colour. Yeah, it's getting to look more like a boat now. Still lots of work to do though.